Welcome to the Saturday Drop-In podcast.
Is this the intro or the outro?
The intro.
Ah, right, yeah. Coming up on today's show.
We didn't do that.
We didn't do that. Coming up on today's show, Guess the Year. There is an issue with Guess the Year, but you'll find out all about that.
Yeah.
This or That is all about trains and trauma. It was mostly traumatic for me because it's National Train Day, and Beat Detective was very good. I think this is the closest I've got to getting the answer perfectly. I was quite pleased with myself. You've got a cracking interview coming up.
I do. Alan, who is the chair of the Kessock Lifeboat's RNLI, had a wee chat with me just about what they do. Everyone kind of knows what the RNLI
I think so,
do.
yeah. But it was interesting to find out what they do specifically and some of their fundraising stuff.
And they're also quite a young station as well. They started in 1998.
Oh, that is quite young, really, isn't it?
Well, same.
Yeah, well,
as the studio.
Lots of yeah, same as the studio and same as Shannon.
Yeah.
We won't discuss who's doing the best. You can get in touch with us if you're a podcast person. You can be super cool and email socials@hhr.scot, and then that's like an exclusive club. You're not emailing the studio, you're emailing Shannon and I directly.
Yeah.
So stick around for that. Lots to enjoy. Will we just press play and here it goes?
Let's crack on.
Here it is.
Martin Solveig, Dragonet, hello.
Hello. Hello.
This is the Saturday Drop-In. You're in with Tom and Shannon today. What a scorcher of a day.
It's absolutely stunning out there.
I know, but we're in the best situation because hospitals have aircon.
We have aircon.
We're not in a stuffy room or anything like that. So
it's set at 19 but currently 22. There may be issues with the aircon unit.
Oh dear. We'll figure that out.
But we're shorts and t-shirt in it today.
We are shorts and t-shirt in it today.
We're
I've got my
literally beach
loafers
ready.
on as well. Like no trainer socks.
Are they? Sorry, what now?
No trainer socks.
Oh.
I don't do a trainer sock.
Oh God, we've started on feet already, Shannon. No. This has to stop.
Mm-hmm. How are you been?
I'm good, bud. Yourself?
Yeah, it's just been a really busy week.
It's been a busy week.
We just looked at each other and we just sighed.
we have our planning meeting via WhatsApp as the week goes on for what's coming up, and it has just been every time you've messaged me with something like, I'll get around to it in a minute.
Yeah.
Just one of the weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, getting around to those things though means that we have a great show up
Do you know what? Today's show is very good with your usual features of Guess the Year coming up in about 10 minutes time. The end of the show finishes with Beat Detective. Will you get today's cryptic clue? I'll tell you this right now. I have already given up and not got it. This or That, the theme for that will be coming up later on. But you have got an interview coming up later on today, Shannon.
Yes, I called Alan.
You bumped into in a planned call.
Yeah, exactly. Bumped into on a planned call. So Alan, who is the chair of the Kessock Lifeboat Station,
awesome,
was meant to come in today, but schedule's changed.
Life
seems
gets
to
in the
be
way.
that week for it. So we gave him a call and had a chat, and it's very exciting things are happening at the station this year.
Ooh.
We've got a couple of open days.
Well, this even I'm drawn in by this now.
I know.
I can't wait to find out what's happening.
Exactly.
I haven't heard the interview yet.
Yeah, you'll find out about 12:30, just after Guess the Year. Should we move on to some Elton John? Because I think it would be good.
Sure, yeah. If you've got Elton John lined up, I'll enjoy Elton John.
Studio at hhr.scot, or go on to social media, Highland Hospital Radio on Facebook and Instagram, Highland H Radio on BlueSky as well, even though we keep forgetting to post things
about BlueSky.
that. This is Blue Eyes, Elton John.
It's Locomotion, Little Eva from 1962 here on Highland Hospital Radio. Written by Jerry Coffin and Carole King. Did you know?
Because it is National Train Day.
Yes, National Train Day. We like one of the things about being a radio presenter, particularly on this type of show, is to be topical. So we go into, whatdayisit.com, or it's not just telling you that it's Saturday. It tells you that, we're celebrating this event, that event. And it's National Train Day.
Train Day.
We think
You
it's
work
American.
in trains?
I do work in trains. Work's a strong term, but I attend and have done so for a while, yeah.
Yeah.
So today, apparently it's been done before, but I am wearing my Forth Bridge t-shirt. Gillian Kyle I'm wearing Gillian Kyle today. Feel free to tag that in any socials. But it's a really cool t-shirt about the Forth Bridge. I can claim that I have driven over all of them.
On a train?
Well, exactly, yeah. I've driven over the 2 road bridges.
Yeah.
And I've driven a train over the Forth Bridge.
Oh, there you go then.
There you go, see?
Small world. I say small world.
I don't know.
Just a lot of train driving.
So yeah, with that in mind, this week's This or That is going to be train themed, I am told, because if you're just joining us for the first time on the Saturday drop-in, Shannon and I are your regular hosts, and what we do is we take it in turns to do the show. So this week Shannon's turn. She's driving the desk, as we call it. She's sitting at the controls. She's produced it. She's created all the content.
It's going to be a train wreck.
Well, no, that's not what I was leading. But I love it because it means I can just turn up and be the guest, basically. I'm sitting on the other side of the desk. I just contribute, which is nice and easy. I brought sweets. You brought coffee. It's all good.
Yeah, it's level playing field.
Exactly.
Unless
Oh,
you're
no.
invited to a barbecue.
Oh, here we go then.
I'm shocked for your reasonings of why the barbecue was not this weekend.
So,
Your cool neighbours couldn't come. I'm sorry that we aren't cool enough for you.
yeah, well, it was early planning stages, I would say. And I said to you and your partner Ben, are you available today, this Saturday? This was last week. And this was at the behest of my wife, who said, come on, we're supposed to be inviting Shannon and Ben round. Hurry up, do it.
Yeah.
So under pressure, I emailed you. I sent a letter and asked if you were available today.
Yes.
To which you immediately said, yeah, that's great.
Let's do it.
And then I thought, right, now I'll check and see if the neighbours are available.
The cool neighbours, sorry. The cool
yeah.
neighbours.
Well, careful now, because that might imply that the other neighbours aren't
I
cool.
can quote you on your message if you really want.
The neighbours from either side are coming, so I don't want either neighbour to be upset as to who's the cool and who isn't, right? Especially since one of the neighbours works here from time to time on a Saturday, and she's popped in before. She might do it again. So no, it wasn't that. It's just that neighbours either side on the Ruhard Corner group chat, because that's where we live. It's us and the neighbours either side.
Oh, you have a street
we have
group
the
chat.
the corner group
the
chat.
corner,
There's
sorry.
the street group chat, obviously, but we're just the corner.
I see.
And I said, listen, my good friend Ben and his partner Shannon are coming over. Are you guys available? And they went, no. I was like, oh, because they're kind of coming to join in, because we've said that you're the board game. We're a board game community.
Yeah.
And they're coming for the board games.
I love a board game.
And if the board game people aren't there, ain't no party without a board game party. Huh? So I said, right, are you available next Saturday? So a week today. Everybody's available. So I messaged you and says, I wasn't cancelling. I was confirming that the date that I said it was going to be is going to be different.
Yeah.
That's all.
Let me explain, full stop. The cool neighbours can't make it, full stop. And I've made a big deal about bringing in the four of you together. Which is sweet, but the cool
Exactly.
neighbours. Am I not cool enough for you?
No,
started
that's
the
not what the
TikTok.
message said. That's not what the message. No, the message. No. I'm just saying that basically you and Ben would get bored of my banter. You only have to put up with it for 2 hours. Imagine being there for longer at our house.
We do more than 2 hours
Yeah,
on this
that's very
shift
true,
on
actually.
Saturdays, to be fair.
Yeah, but so next
I
week
still
you're going to have
put
to
up
do.
with it.
You're going to have to do at least 3 hours of putting up with me here, and then come to my house for a barbecue for another. So it's important to have variety. So the neighbours are a key aspect to
I
this.
see. Right, okay. So they're like the bridge to communication of
Yes.
reality and banter.
Absolutely.
Right, okay.
So yeah, you're still coming to the barbecue next week.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Cool. That's
I
it.
don't-
So
why-
there's no problem then.
Is it a Saturday?
It is a Saturday.
Okay, yeah, that's fine because we're doing something else on Friday. So. I'm too busy. I don't like this whole like everyone wants to meet up with me because I've got engaged. Like just
Clang.
Yeah,
We're
clang.
still playing that I got engaged 2 weeks ago, Belle, are we?
it was a month ago actually, but yeah, basically.
The
but-
good news is when you come to visit us next week, you can get the card that I keep getting pestered to remember to bring in that I haven't brought in yet.
That's all right. That's fine. You've got Alvin Stardust up next. This is another train-themed
Yeah.
situation.
My chuka choo. Choo.
My choo-cha-choo.
Just press play.
Sounds good to me. Boom, bang, a bang by
Oh, we were
Lulu.
singing along there in the studio.
Yes, and that is a part of our Guess the Year for this week. So, this was the joint Eurovision winning song.
Yeah,
of
we were just
this
saying
year.
it was joint, but it wasn't even like just joint with one country, was it?
It was with France, Netherlands, and Spain.
Four-way tie for Eurovision.
That won't ever happen again.
Well, we were thinking it's not impossible, but because there's so many numbers involved, it's like in the hundreds of points these days. But back then it was limited number of countries, far fewer countries voting, and
Yeah.
I don't even think the deux points had been invented then. I don't think they'd gone up to 12 at that stage.
Really?
I think that's how long ago it was. But what was the year? That's the question, Shannon.
Who knows? I know, you don't.
I don't know because so
I've hidden
go-
it away pretty well this time.
Exactly. Going back to what we were saying earlier, you've produced this week's show. This is a Shannon Marvel production. and she is available if anybody
Trademark.
if anybody does want to hire her in a professional capacity. So no, I don't know, and you've given me the running order here, but not put the date on it, which is
know.
nice.
You're
shall
welcome.
Shall I read out some TV stuff?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, it's the debut of Monty Python's Flying Circus in this year. It premiered on October the 5th, which is my birthday, on BBC One, not this year. With this surreal sketch comedy show introduced a new wave of British humour that would become globally influential, and people are still quoting the jokes to this day. Fact.
Love the parrot sketch.
It's not dead. It's resting. Introduction of colour broadcasting on November the 15th. Both BBC One and ITV began regular colour television broadcasts, enhancing the viewing experience for audiences across the UK. There's a really good YouTube video. There's a guy who's quite into sort of TV history, and he covers how every country switched to colour broadcasting. So in the UK, I think we basically it started.
You just turned it
one day.
on. That sounds about right.
But other countries had like shows celebrating the switch. So, like the show started in black and white.
I remember seeing
and
like the
changed to
Germany
colour.
one.
Yeah.
They had like an explosion and then they just turned into colour.
So they'd done so we were boring, but other countries when they switched to colour did really cool stuff. The release of On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Oh, that was the George Lazenby Bond. This was the 6th James Bond film, premiering on December 18th of this year. His only appearance as 007. Interesting, more humanised portrayal of the spy. It was a bit less crazy cars and gadgets and stuff, wasn't it? It was a bit more...
Yeah.
It was a bit more realistic. It was a bit more gritty.
Yeah.
Was it Cold War-esque as well, maybe?
I want to say it was.
Yeah. So, yeah, Lazenby as Bond. We've got some people born in this year, Shannon.
Yeah, so Jennifer Aniston was February the 11th. Very well known. Rachel Green.
In Friends.
In Friends, obviously.
How many claps is it, by the way? Just 4.
It's 4.
So there's somebody who got the question wrong at the quiz, obviously. That's we'll come back to that. We've got a guest in the studio.
Matthew McConaughey. It was November 4th. Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett.
It's in 3 days' time, so happy birthday, Kate Blanchett, for the future, just in case you're listening.
I'm sure she's
to us.
listening.
She has a really cool drink just now that you can buy at what's the really expensive fancy place in London?
Harvey Nichols or Harrods, maybe?
Harrods. You can buy it
She's
in
got
Harrods.
a drink.
Yeah.
Is it like a soft drink? Is it tea? Is it boozy?
It's not boozy, but it's calming.
Calming.
It's like I think it's like a CBD thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We also have Jack Black.
Oh, of course, he's in the Minecraft movie just now.
That one.
Yeah, I've not seen it. Henry went to see it at the cinema, so he's a big fan.
Jason Bateman as well, known for Arrested Development or Ozark. Christian Slater.
Slater.
Yeah,
wow.
exactly. Mr. Robot and Heathers. Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler's the Scottish, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Ellen Pompeo, who is the lead actress in Grey's Anatomy. You've got Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage, was he born in this year too? Wow,
Yeah.
what a year.
I know, and Rory McCann as well. So he was the Hound in Game of Thrones.
In this year, it was a 5 Nations Championship, so we're pre-6 Nations, but post-home nations, so we're somewhere in between.
Yeah.
We're in the 5 Nations. Scotland's performance in the 5 Nations included, am I going to read this and be depressed? Yeah. Versus Wales, a 17-3 defeat. In France, an 11-0 loss. And versus England, on March 15th, doesn't say if they won or lost. I'm going to guess it was a defeat. Who's the person that wrote this?
Me.
Celtic dominated this year's season, securing the domestic treble. Scottish First Division, so Celtic clinched it with 85 points ahead of Rangers. In the Scottish Cup, they defeated Rangers 4-0 at Hampden, and the League Cup as well. So that was their triple. In the second division, Motherwell emerged as champions, earning promotion to the top tier. Back when it was First Division. So now it went from First Division to being the Premier Division, and it was the Premiership.
Yes.
And the second division became the First Division, but it's now the Championship.
Go Sports.
What was going on at the movies?
Quite a lot, actually. So there wasn't any specific grossing money for each film because of the way that it was organised. So collectively, of this year, this top 5 made around just over £1 million.
Which in today's, so this must be dating it a lot.
Till Death Do Us Part.
Yeah, so this must have been a TV adaptation of that. Yeah.
So this was film.
Yeah.
This was the grossing.
Movie adaptation of the TV program. Sorry.
So that was the top grossing of this year. Second was Carry On Camping.
Awesome film.
The best film, best Carry On film.
Is it the best Carry On film?
I think it's the best Carry On film. The Love Bug as well.
Yeah, Herbie, yeah.
Herbie Fully Loaded, as I would know it from now. Bullet.
Yeah, sticking with the car theme.
Yeah. And then Carry On Khyber, which is also a good one because it's like where the wine comes out.
It's so
the torso.
It's not just that I'm older than you, which I am.
I was brought up on Carry On.
I was brought up on Carry On films as well. So I spent a lot of time with my grandparents growing up, and they had the video collection or the video club maybe.
Amazing.
They had every Carry On film.
There's a lot.
Every
out
single
there
one,
as well.
yeah. They even had Carry On Emmanuel, but I was not allowed to watch that one. That
I
was
think
the one that I was not allowed to watch.
I don't think I've watched that, so yeah. Maybe for a responsible reason.
I mean, we'll need to do this in the podcast extras because I'll need to think about it. What is your favourite Carry On film from the series? We'll come back to that later.
Yeah, I would say Camping just now, but I'll have to go through and just double check.
We'll check the list.
So our second song as a part of Guest this year as well. So this was the debut. This is part of the debut album of Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
They've been going around for that long.
Right.
Because they've recently brought out a new album as well, I'm pretty sure.
They're still producing stuff,
They're still producing stuff.
In some format, yeah.
Yeah. Also, if you're on social media, now it's Highland Hospital Radio on Facebook and Instagram. There are a couple more extra clues.
I better go and have a look.
The 50p coin was introduced to replace the 10 shilling note.
Oh, right. So we're talking decimals. Oh, right. Okay.
And this was the Beatles. In this year, it's the Beatles' first performance, like professional performance as the Beatles.
Really?
Yeah, supposedly.
Oh, now I'm throwing. Now I'm lost. Right, okay, we'll hit the song because I need to do some research now.
This is Communication Breakdown Led Zeppelin. So you can message us, studio@hhr.scot with your answer, or you can comment on our social media posts as well. We'll find them. Led Zeppelin, Communication Breakdown.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of... Everyone's kind of gone for a different year, which is quite nice.
There's some of the clues that are really... all over the shop, and it's certainly thrown me out. We were just joined in the studio by Karen, who's coming in to do some work, and she popped in, had a look at the clues, and she was the same as me. We were both going, "Is that no? Because that happened then, surely." What?
Yeah.
What? There's one clue that I think there's going to be a steward's inquiry for, but we've had a message in from our number one fan.
Our resident stalker, as we like to call her.
You call her that. I say...
She calls herself that. It's fine.
Hello, Miss Marvel.
Yeah, so my mum's come in and said 71.
71?
71.
I've gone 72. Jackie, who's sitting in the studio, who's your guest this week, who's sitting and watching what we get up to, she's gone 71 as well. Karen's gone 73.
Yeah.
What did Ben come in with a guess?
He's just said Jason Bateman should be known for dodgeball. I don't think he's going to attempt this one.
It's a valid one. Laura is not available to join in today because she's out in the wilderness, and I don't know if she has a phone signal.
Yeah.
So come on then, put us out of our misery.
I don't know which button should I use for this one. This is the shocking one. Maybe this one.
Really? Oh.
Because it was 1969.
Whoa.
It was 1969. Yeah.
Right, can we have a discussion?
Jennifer Aniston was born in 1969. What?
1969. Hold on, I'm sure Karen's busy recording stuff next door. Karen!
Karen! No, she's good.
Hold on, I'm going to signal to her that it was 1960. No, she's too busy. She's being professional, whereas I'm being very amateur.
I'll bounce her a message, and then she'll come in and be like, "That's wrong."
Yeah. So, the Beatles' first public performance.
1969. As the Beatles, probably after they were signed on and doing their Penny Lane album.
We will.
I looked up. And they just went, the Beatles' first performance.
We shall do some research into this, but already there's a deep inhalation of breath from the far corner, and I'm teaming up with the deep inhalation of breath from the corner. Frankly, I think there's a discussion to be had.
Okay, well, whilst we have that
discussions,
yes. As I said earlier on, we were meant to have Alan from the RNLI Kessock Lifeboat station in. However, he wasn't able to come in, but we still have a quick chat with him. I caught up with him, I think it was Thursday. Just about what they get up to at the lifeboats and some things that are happening later on in the year. So have a listen to this. Today we have Alan from the Kessock Lifeboats. He's the chair at the Kessock station, a part of the RNLI. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
First off, could you just give us a little bit of background about the Kessock Lifeboat station and sort of the RNLI as well?
Yeah, well, the RNLI is it's a massive charity in the UK that exists to save lives at sea. And the UK is quite strange in that respect because the life-saving activity or coastal rescue activity is done by a charity and volunteers throughout the coast. In other countries, they're paid employees, so it's a very unique sort of organisation, and it's based in communities, and I think they're quite strong about the sort of community aspect of the lifeboats, because some of our neighbours, for example, the Invergordon boat is very much at the heart of Invergordon, and the same with ourselves. The Kessock Lifeboat is very much at the heart of the life of the village. And you would have to say that about just every other lifeboat station that's a part of the local community. And I think that's one of the big successes of it, actually. And the Kessock lifeboat itself was, it's really quite a young station compared to others. You probably know that we celebrated 200 years last year, which is an amazing milestone for any organisation. While the Kessock Lifeboat itself has only been in existence really since 1993, and that's one of the younger stations. There are a few others that are a bit younger than us, but we're if you like the relative teenagers of the bunch.
Yeah, and what about yourself? How did you get involved with the Kessock Lifeboats? Let's take us back to that time.
Well, I was one of that few people who started pretty much at the beginning, not quite, but pretty much at the beginning of the lifeboat. My next door neighbour at the time was a grand woman, Margaret Patterson, and she was heavily involved with the lifeboats as a fundraiser. And she had got wind of the fact that the lifeboat station was going to be set up on a trial basis, and she encouraged me to go along. But I've got a general interest in volunteering in the community anyway, and that's probably my basic motivation. I quite like to be involved in volunteering anyway. So I started back in 1993, and I suppose I've had just about every role that there is in the station, but starting off as a crew member and a helm on the boat that we had at the time, which is a very basic boat, but a great sea boat nonetheless, the D-class lifeboat. And then moving on to be crew member and helm on an Atlantic 75 when we moved to our current location just below the Kessock Bridge. And we've been there for just about 20 years now. So we've had a fair amount of activity in both of our locations, actually.
Perfect. And you said that obviously the Kessock station moved. What else has evolved from the Kessock station, sort of in the past sort of 20 years?
Well, we started off with probably about a dozen volunteers and a small group of officials. But now, looking at the numbers, there's probably about 30 operational crew at the station. And we have a group of station managers with our lifeboat operations manager, Jake Scott, at the head of it. And he's a very experienced fellow who's been with us now for about 3 years. As well as that, one of the developments of the station has been the creation of a water safety element to our activities. So we've recently appointed a water safety lead and a small team of folk to take the messages of the RNLI out to the community and beyond. So we've got this water safety element, and we've developed the fundraising aspect of the lifeboat as well, which is and obviously a very important part of what we do. So there's a lot of activities that we're involved in that are about raising funds, and many people who pass by the village of Kessock in the early months of the year will know of the car wash that we run every year, and we had a very successful one this year yet again. But we've got a few other things that are happening in the pipeline.
Perfect. Yeah, definitely with the car wash. I feel like that seems to be a hit with a lot of people. I remember being in the queue for a wee while and it was very much worth it. It's nice because you get to go through the station as well. So you kind of get a bit of a glimpse of sort of what's around the station. So when you said about other fundraising things, you've got something coming up at the end of the month and an open day as well later on the year. Do you want to sort of talk about that for a second?
Yes, well, at the end of this month, we've got a family ceilidh organised in the Kessock Village Hall, and we're very hopeful that that will be a, a, a nice event. We haven't run one for a few years. We did ceilidhs in the very early years of the lifeboat station, and we've just thanks to the efforts of our fundraising branch, we're going to have another one this year. So if anyone's interested, it's available on Eventbrite, and they can find out about ticket prices and the timing of it. But it's on the 31st of this month. And yes, indeed, we've had a few interruptions with COVID intervening and a couple of other things, but we're going to have an open day this year for the first time in a wee while, and we're really looking forward to that. That will be happening in August, probably the last week of August, so people can start looking out for that. I'm sure folk recognise the signs that start dotting the roundabouts of Inverness in the run up to the open day. So that'll be a big event this year as well. So, but we do rely very heavily on the good support of not just people within the village of North Kessock, but also from Inverness and the wider area too.
Brilliant. That's great to hear. And it's great to see that you've got your open day coming up. So that's open day specifically to look for volunteers. Is that right?
Well, the open day is a bit of a showcase really for people to see, as well as putting their hands in their pockets to donate. People can get to see what their donation actually pays for. So they'll see the lifeboat in action at the station. They'll get to meet the crew and see the building itself and how it generally runs. So it's a great way of showcasing our activities and getting our key messages of water safety out to people. And there's also the probably some of the finest baking in Inverness that we've had at our open day, and that's thanks to our great fundraising volunteers.
Perfect. Well, you know what? You've got me at cake, so that's brilliant. That's good to hear. So a couple of things I'd like to bring up. Obviously, with every charity, Highland Hospital Radio, definitely your impact in this. There's challenges. Either whether that's for us, it's digital inclusion. We want to make sure everyone's included. Now we're an online station. Are there any sort of challenges that you're facing on sort of a regular basis, specifically for the station, for example?
Mm-hmm. For the station specifically, I think you've said it yourself, Shannon. It's everyone has a busy life, and there's it's very hard to squeeze the on top of family and work and then volunteering on top of that. It's quite a big commitment to make when you take on a volunteer role. And like yourselves in hospital radio, the RNLI expects a really professional approach from its volunteers, and it is a seriously big commitment. And I'm not saying that in the past people were casual about their approach to it, but there's certainly a lot more regulation to the activity of the RNLI. The RNLI really does need to be able to guarantee the professionalism of crew, and it also needs to protect its crew from whether it's emotionally taxing shouts or whether it's the publicity that comes from things that you might have seen in the English Channel, where the RNLI lifeboats regularly pick up people who are trying to cross the channel. as refugees. We don't face that sort of issue here, but the RNLI, as a very public organisation, is very conscious of the role of every one of its volunteers in presenting that very positive public image. And again, that's a lot of responsibility for every single member of the crew.
Could you share any sort of memorable stories, maybe sort of, some funny stories, some fun stories, just about your time that sort of keeps you going, maybe something that you pass on to other volunteers or team members as well?
Well, we're a group of guys and gals that have other lives, as I've said, and I think the best way to get along is by being able to take a joke and being able to see the funny side of things. I won't name a particular member of the team who's a long-standing member of the team, but he was a part-time fisherman and still is a part-time fisherman, but he was his boat was called the Joy Bringer for some time, and he doesn't use that boat anymore because it did have a few little accidents, and we occasionally had to launch the lifeboat to rescue this fellow crew member, much to his embarrassment. So instead of the Joy Bringer, we called it the Shout Bringer.
Oh, brilliant!
And again, we're not mentioning any names, but I think the person concerned would definitely know if he heard that. We have regular shouts, and we do a very professional job. But the one of the things that we've been involved in through one of our helms is a consultation recently on the format of the boat and the layout of the boat. So they're looking for feedback from crews about the feedback. And this particular round of consultation is being done directly through station personnel. So one of the recommendations for the new kit on the boat was a Haribo dispenser or a Coke machine. One of the things that keeps people going is just having a sweetie or a bottle of juice to sort of keep you going in the middle of a shout. That's quite a helpful thing. But we've got one of our team who is a dentist, and she's probably not very approving of the idea of a Haribo machine. So.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, we're pretty much the same in the station. We always got sort of a sweet and a juice on hand for when there's a wee break as well. Yeah.
I can remember another shout or two where, sometime in the past, but we were called to a downed aircraft in the Bewley Firth. This chap had built this aircraft himself to do film work for TV and film studios, and this is in the days before drones. So he'd built the aircraft and he was very proud of it, and he had sponsons to allow him to land on the water, but he also had gear to lower wheels so that he could land on grass or on a runway. And he was showing off to his girlfriend, and he decided to land on the Bewley Firth, but he didn't realise that the wheels were down below the sponsons, and he crashed his plane. He wasn't injured, and neither was she, but they were a wee bit shaken up. And in the records of things that we have done, rescuing an aircraft from the Bewley Firth is probably one of those remarkable ones that we can look back on.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty standout rescue, shall we say? Yeah. So what you're saying about the fundraising and how the the station has progressed. Are you looking at sort of any current projects that, through this community support that you're aiming to? Is there any specific goals that you're looking to reach with the fundraising?
Our fundraising tends to go pretty steadily as a result of the branch activities. In terms of goals, we really just want to be able to hold our heads up with that we're sort of washing our faces as a team. But the dedicated fundraisers which are associated with the branch, they're an amazing group, and they'll raise normally between £20,000 and £30,000 a year in the Inverness area. Although a couple of years ago we did have a remarkable year in which we got support from the Black Isle Tractor Rally team, and they raised something like £14,000 or £15,000 for us that year. And in the same year, there was a group of us drove from North Kessock to Monte Carlo as a part of a kind of banger rally, and we raised, again, it was £14,000 or £15,000 we raised. So some years we have a bumper year, and that year before last certainly was one of those. Probably difficult to beat that one, but just maintaining a good effort for fundraising is a large part of it. And again, maintaining the training levels and professionalism of the crew is on an operational level is also a huge part of it. As far as the building and equipment goes, there's always developments, but we're in the hands of the wider RNLI to see how we'll benefit from the developments. So we're happy to have the boat that we've got, and we're happy to have the building that we've got, and it's up to us as a team to really be as professional as we can in operating the two of them.
Amazing. Well, that is amazing. Thank you so much for this, Alan. I've got a couple more questions for you before we finish off. Firstly, are you still on the lookout for volunteers? Is this something that you're still looking at?
Yeah, well, if people are keen to volunteer, there's all sorts of roles that they can fulfill. At the moment, we've just finished recruiting for our water safety team. But if someone wants to volunteer as either a shore crew person or as a fundraiser, the best thing to do is keep an eye on the website, which is you can access it by just doing a Google search for Kessock RNLI or Kessock Lifeboat. So if people are interested, then that's probably the best thing to do. On a regular basis, people move on and people change their life patterns. So there are opportunities that emerge quite regularly.
Okay, and with being a crew member, for example, because obviously you can be called out at any part, do they need to be a certain distance away from the station to be classed as a part of the crew, or is this on sort of a shift basis?
Well, the regulation used to be within 20 minutes. And it's very important that you don't speed or endanger anybody in getting to the station. So, yes, you've got to be within a reasonable distance. We'll have people coming from Muirvord, which is a good 20 minutes away from Kessock, but their pattern of their day's work might mean that during the day they're much closer because they work in town. So yes, being at a reasonable distance, but I think the key thing is enthusiasm and being willing to be part of a team and ready to well, I hate to say it, but ready to be cold, wet, and miserable at the drop of a hat. But the cold, wet, and miserable bit doesn't last very long. So it's a very positive thing to be part of. There's no question about it. And the fact that many people stay with the institution for many years, and then even after they've finished volunteering as operational crew, will take on a fundraising role with the crew or with the branch, and that's if you like the proof of the pudding that it's a very positive organisation to be part of.
Amazing. One last question for you, Alan. If someone wants to make a lasting impact, what would you suggest as the best way to support the Kessock Lifeboat Station?
Well, one of the things that is emerging quite a lot in recent years is people leaving money in their will to the RNLI, even if it was a small portion. That's a very positive way of doing it, and there are ways of having that recorded as part of the if you like the paintwork of a lifeboat. You can actually have your name recorded on an all-weather lifeboat as one of the people who paid for the support of that lifeboat, and that's a physical if you like, record of support. But leaving something in your will is a great way of doing that. But at another level, just supporting the lifeboat activities by supporting our fundraising events, and might be at Christmas time buying some postcards or Christmas cards, or it might be getting your car washed in March or February, and those are all really great ways of supporting the institution.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for that, Alan. I'll just quickly reiterate, you've got your Ceilidh happening at the end of the month at the Kessock Village Hall. We'll find the Eventbrite link and pop that on our social media as well for you.
That's great.
All right. No worries. And then in August, you've also got your open day. So if you'd like to know more about the Kessock RNLI station, pop down at the end of August to find out more. Alan, thank you so much for having this chat.
No, that's great. Thanks very much.
Lip sync Funky Town. That was requested by Alan from the Kessock Lifeboat Station. This was as he's born and bred Indonesian, he asked for this song. I don't know the reasoning behind that. There
must be a reasoning behind it. I was cracking here from Alan.
Inverness is just a funky town.
Inverness Shire and the wider region. Other side of the Kessock Bridge as well.
Oh, Westeros, Sutherland, there's Owick.
Yeah. The whole NHS Highland area.
Yeah, exactly. Wasn't that a good chat?
That was a good chat. Yeah, so they've got a Ceilidh coming up.
They have a
Ceilidh. Was it the Kessock Hall? Was it?
Yeah, it's the Kessock Community. Is it Community Hall?
Must be,
Hall?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's at the 31st of March. On our Facebook page, we've popped in the Eventbrite link.
Absolutely.
If you want to buy tickets and have a really good night.
Plus, I have to say, yeah, if you don't already, follow the RNLI crew for North Kessock, or wherever you are, your local RNLI crew. Such a really worthwhile charity. It's one of these ones where we've sort of sat there and gone, can't believe that's still a charity. Is that not
200 years?
Yeah, I know,
they
but
celebrate 200 years last year.
It's kind of one of those really important ones. We're an island nation, so anyway, let's not get into that. But yeah, so we've got these people who are volunteering to go out, jumping on these boats and racing out to rescue people. Incredible.
Exactly.
Absolutely fantastic.
Amazing.
And yeah, he was talking about volunteering opportunities as well. If you're in that area and you want to get involved, of course, like everything, it's not just about jumping in a boat, it's not just about talking into a microphone.
There is admin work to do.
So many roles. So many roles to do. So if you are looking for some volunteering opportunities, then consider the RNLI in your area.
Mm-hmm. And we're in the second hour of the show.
We have jumped into the second hour of the show.
Definitely did not overrun the last hour.
Oh, the production there in the last few minutes was outstanding, and I really enjoyed standing here watching the car crash occur.
Or train crash, because it's National Train Crash today.
It's National Train Day.
Yeah, exactly.
With our train-based This or That is coming up in a few moments' time, and we're also going to give you the clue to this week's Beat Detective as well. But coming up, we've got a cracking tune. I want to say this is 1981.
Oh, are we guessing years again?
Yeah, why not? Well, let's have a guess for the year. I mean, okay. I've already told you the answer, but
cool.
Click on it and see if I'm right.
Are we just doing this live? Cool. Let's see. Johnson Media War, 1981. Well done.
Here comes the Human League. Don't you want me, baby? It's the Human League here on Highland Hospital Radio on your Saturday drop-in at 12 minutes past 1 in the afternoon. Yeah, so the Human League from 1981, we were just saying there, I have got that album on vinyl in the house, but I've also already got, yes, as well as that, I have another album which is the instrumental covers, the instrumental versions by the original orchestra.
Yes.
So it's the League Unlimited Orchestra is how they were branded.
Right.
And it took some of the pop hits and it was just the instrumental version.
Okay.
And that was a thing that I remember this certainly buying vinyl in the 90s. If you're buying a 45, like a single, and then into CDs, you would get the instrumental version maybe as like a B-side sometimes.
Okay.
Because it's not like today.
There are a couple of 45s in our... I think there was a Kylie one that has an instrumental in it. And I was
then
like, why is this the same song?
Exactly, the
It's
B-side's the instrumental.
Yeah.
And there's, of course, you were doing your B-side feature. I remember that.
Yes.
Because you couldn't
Where
just...
did that go?
Yeah. You couldn't just feed into AI and get it to do it for you. We were just discussing off air how creepy it is now that you can tell AI that here's a song that I like, but what if this band did it?
Yeah.
So you can get the AI to generate a song, but as if it was sung by a different band.
Yeah.
And it's a bit weird, really. Where
Imagine
it's all
doing
going.
like a really old song, like, I don't know, like a Frank Sinatra song, right? And it's like, do this in the theme of
Sugar Babes.
Bowling for Soup.
Bowling for Soup, yes! Sum 41.
Or Systems of a Down or something like that. Like,
God, that would be good. You know what? Guess what I'm doing when I come today? We're burning up the planet with ChatGPT requests.
No, never. We only did that the last week.
Indeed, yes. So our ChatGPT effort is up. So so you fed into the ChatGPT, write a script for us to promote this show.
And I linked our show page in it, so it had some information that it could feed through.
So we then recorded that and we've put it out. So if you want to go along to it, so we put it on.
It's on the socials.
It's on all the socials. So your Facebook, your Instagram. It's on YouTube because we didn't forget that we had a YouTube page.
No. Of course not.
And it's on the old Tickety Talk as well. So go along and like, share.
Follow.
Do you
follow on TikTok.
You follow on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like on Facebook.
Follow on Instagram.
Follow on Insta.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Subscribe on YouTube. There you go. If
it's all kind of the same thing. There's a plus.
There's a button somewhere that you need to click. Right, so it is your Saturday drop-in. Shannon, you're in charge. So you've written today's Beat Detective. I haven't looked yet. So I'm going to open up the page and see what the clue is to this week's Beat Detective. Will I read it out just now? Will we set this in motion?
Go for it. Let's give it a go.
Okay, is the answer on the same page? Do I need to scroll carefully so I don't get the answer?
No, I haven't changed the answer. It's still the one from like 3-4 weeks ago.
Sweet. Okay. Ooh, a 6 and a 6.
Yeah.
Okay,
that makes 12.
Are you happy with me talking over this music, or do you want your Beat Detective music?
That's a good point.
Shannon.
We'll talk about it a little bit, how Beat Detective kind of works, you know?
Well, yeah, so the way it is what now Shannon is doing is she's going into the computer system, she's typing in...
why, you know,
all right.
the other stuff.
All right, so Beat Detective is... The last song on today's show is picked by the super duper computer. So we go and we take that song and we draft a cryptic clue that is going to lead you to the artist and the song title. And then you can have some fun by emailing us, studio@HHR, to see if you can guess the answer. We're also going to put this up on our social media channels as well. So if listening to my voice isn't enough... then you can enjoy reading it in a text format.
Exactly.
So, we've got an artist, and it's a 6-word artist. Really?
It's a
6-word artist.
What artists? It is a group. It is a group this time.
Oh, okay, right. I can't think... That's already quite a good clue, because there can't be that many 6-word artists. Anyway, Royal Roman Goddess and the Ultimate Female Ensemble.
Yes.
The artist is Royal Roman Goddess and the Ultimate Female Ensemble. So is it somebody and the somethings?
Possibly.
Okay. Right,
I'm not giving it away. We've got an hour to fill with this one.
we're not filling. This is monitored hashtag monitored content.
Yeah.
And your song also has 6 words. Your song title, the clue is A Determined Promise to Capture Your Heart.
Ooh.
A determined promise to capture your heart. So that's your Beat Detective. Do you know what? This feels gettable.
Gettable.
This feels like this achievable. I think I could get this. I'm gonna over the next break and the next song because I'm under pressure because we've got this or that coming up in a moment.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna have a quick look at this and think about it off air because I don't want to give anything away. But I think this. Yeah, I think we should be getting this.
Yeah.
get along to your Facebook and Instagram. Give us a wee like, share, follow if you've not already done so.
Yeah. Comment your answer below as well.
You can have a comment in the answer below if you want to. Absolutely. If you want to, you could get in first and be a big winner, or you could be totally wrong and everybody knows.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Ben's already messaged in Carter USM. I have no idea what that is or who that is.
I don't know either.
But
yeah,
it's not that recent.
Okay. A royal. It feels gettable. Royal Roman goddess and the ultimate female ensemble. Something girls, the something ladies. Right, I'm going off air because people don't want to hear me going. Even though I just did it.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's go we're going to go into the ad break and find out about what important information we can pass on to you here from Highland Hospital Radio. When we come back, more great music.
And that's Lola Young together in Electric Dreams. You're in your Saturday drop-in. Tom's broken down. He hasn't got the Beat Detective yet, and it's frustrating.
I've got the artist.
You've got the artist.
But
you've done well with that.
I cannot, for the life of me, think of. I don't want to. Obviously, I'm not going to say what it is because because people
reasons
want to,
and things and stuff.
Because people want to get it themselves.
Exactly. I'll quickly go over it. So your artist is Royal Roman Goddess and the Ultimate Female Ensemble, and the song is a determined promise to capture your heart.
Ah,
you got it?
I think so.
The table whacking. I think you do.
Maybe.
Shall I confuse you even more and we can go into some this or that?
No, I can't do two things at once, Shannon. This has been proven.
That's a shame. Well, you got an hour to do this or that. This is what people go away, they might listen to this and that, and then they'll come back for a Beat Detective. That's how it works, right?
Please don't go away. Stay here. Don't go anywhere.
Exactly. Pop in your answers to Beat Detective at studio@hhr.scot, or just comment on our social media, Facebook and Instagram, Highland Hospital Radio. You're talking to yourself.
Yeah, I am talking to myself.
Oh dear, we need to take you down the road.
I'm okay. No, I'm okay.
But it's time for this or that. We're talking about how today is National Train Day, and as as Tom is a part of the train services that we
train community.
With train community, I thought I'd put it into a train references, and then obviously put something medical to it.
Obviously.
So I've called it Train or Trauma.
Try that again. You okay?
Train or Trauma.
June.
Don't
June
even
in.
talk about June. Yeah, so train or trauma. So it's either a reference that you use in locomotive train stuff.
Oh no, come on.
Or it's a reference to a medical procedure.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
I think that I could fail miserably here, because really, if I don't get all the train ones, that's embarrassing.
Mm-hmm. It would be a shame, isn't it?
Well, can I make some caveats here?
Yes.
Obviously, it could be Americanized train stuff you've got. There could be different countries involved.
Possibly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I had to keep looking into, because some of it was quite obvious. Like they would go through like medical procedures, and it's like, well, that's obvious. It's a procedure. But
okay.
Then So first off, what's a frog?
What's a frog?
What's a frog?
Oh, come on now.
Is this train or trauma?
Well, I, in my railway experience, have never encountered a frog.
Okay. Not even on the track?
Well, not that I've seen. Right? If you're going at 100 miles an hour, spotting, aqua-based animals, I'm going to say procedure. I'm going to say it's trauma.
It's train.
How can it be train?
It's
not
a railway
train.
switch, also known as a rail crossing or turnout, used to guide the wheels from one track or another, particularly where these tracks cross and diverge.
It just isn't. In what country is that?
Railways country, obviously. The railway community has said. Shovel tested. What is shovel tested? You're really upset with me, aren't you?
No, it's fine. It's all good. Hope the barbecue doesn't get cancelled again. Shovel tested.
Shovel tested.
And this is either a train-based thing or
a procedure. A medical procedure-based
shovel tested.
If there's any nurses or doctors listening, give us a shout. studio@hhr.scot.
Based on the fact that I didn't get the train one, are you going to get these made-up things that Shannon's talking about?
They're not made up. I searched them.
Right, a shovel tested. Shovel tested. Right. Shovel sounds too much like train, so I'm going to go trauma?
It is trauma. It's a term used to describe track, and that has been inspected by physically digging or shoveling the test. Oh, it's actually train. Sorry. Can you tell it's been a really long week? I'm so sorry. We're award-winning presenters.
We are award-winning presenters.
So that was train. It's test the depth and stability using during maintenance checks or before laying new track.
I've got 18 years in the railway here, and yet you're throwing this
Shovel
all down
tested.
the drain. Right, what's number 3?
Anastomic leak. Anastomonic leak. Sorry.
I'm going trauma, because that is what I'm suffering right now.
It is trauma. It's a complication following surgery where a connection between two segments of the bowel and other organs leak, leading to an infection or other issues.
Okay, good.
What's an auxiliary?
What? Well, I mean...
Auxiliary.
Sorry.
Auxiliary.
Can I get a spelling, please?
AXILLARY.
You sure it's not auxiliary?
Nope.
AUX.
Nope.
Auxiliary.
Auxiliary. Is it train or is it trauma?
Definitely trauma.
It is trauma. It's referring to
No,
the
sorry, I'm just
armpits.
referring to my experience.
Oh.
Sorry. But yeah, I'll go with that now.
It's referring to the armpit or the area around it.
The axe.
Axillary,
is it?
yeah.
See, that's interesting because in central Scotland, I would hear an armpit referred to as your oxters.
Hey, what?
Your oxters, that's your armpit.
I
You
got-
can be oxtered from a premises is when 2 bouncers lift you up by your armpits and lift you out the door.
Oh,
It's a Billy
do
Connolly
you know what?
reference.
I've never experienced that word in that situation because
Oxters.
I behave.
Well, there you go.
What's a bogey?
Right. I've got that. That's a train. That's
Yep,
a train.
it is a train. It's a chassis or framework carrying the wheels of a railway vehicle, allowing it to move.
We have lots of bogies in my job.
Lots of bogies. Do you shout bogies? Do you do a
Yes, we
different
do,
song?
because that is how immature I am. I once played a game of bogies in the Louvre with one of my friends when we were in Paris. She won. She was far braver than I was.
Really?
In the Louvre, playing a game of bogies. It was good fun. Good times.
Good times. Good times. Thank you very much, Dick Dunn, for that moment.
Indeed.
What's a cisterna? Is it train or is it trauma?
Cisterna.
Cisterna.
Sounds trauma-y. I'm going to go the hospital procedure.
It is trauma. It is a space or cavity in the body that holds fluid, such as a cisterna cyst, which is a part of the lymphatic system. You're
Great.
welcome. Yeah. What's a ballast regulator?
It's not lunchtime up there, is it?
No,
People
sorry.
are listening in the boards. A ballast regulator. Well, that's got to be train because ballast is the stones that the track sits on.
I'll give you an extra point if you can tell me exactly what it is.
What, a ballast regulator?
Yeah.
Well, it must be something that determines the level of the ballast.
A machine that is used to regulate the level and alignment of the ballast. Well done. Yeah. Just in case, just testing you.
Thank you.
It's been in 18 years. Sometimes things just fly out the window.
Sometimes the things never went in the window in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. What is the hydrocephalus?
Hydrocephalus.
Hydrocephalus.
We've got lots
Is
of
it
hydro
train
things
or
in the
is it
trains,
trauma?
but hydrocephalus. It's the cephalus thing that's making me think trauma. I'm going to go for a hospital procedure.
It is trauma. It's a condition where there is an abnormal accumulation of cerebrospinal fluid.
Ooh, cerebral.
Cerebral, sorry, yes. That one. In the ventricles of the brain, which can cause increased pressure and potentially lead to issues afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you got that one right. We've got 2 more, and you are on...
Not very many.
Not very many, I'll be honest. Probably about 4.
How many have I got left?
4. You got 4 right.
Out of
8.
50%, maybe.
What is a sphygm... Oh no. What have I done? Why have I done
You've done
to
this on
myself?
yourself.
It's sphygmometer.
Can I have a spelling, please, for me and the listener?
SPHYGM. No vowels there.
Hold on.
OM.
SPHY
GM.
GM
OM. AN.
Wow.
O-meter.
Sphygmometer. A sphygmometer?
I would say something like that. Is that train or trauma?
I'm going to go trauma.
It is trauma. It's an instrument used to measure blood pressure.
Ah.
Yeah, that's the longest name for such a simple piece of equipment.
That's the. I'm pretty sure that's the device. Hello, do you know what? There's some nurses out here on the corridor. I might go and ask them. I'm pretty sure that's when they measure your blood pressure. It's the cuff thing that goes round, and that's the device that they use it to measure.
I think it is, to be fair. Yeah.
I just realised
Karen is here, and she's casually just walked out, and she's sneaking around, and then she just went, "Oh, he's recording on cameras," and you've picked the squeakiest chair. Right, put me out my misery, and then Karen's going to join us.
Last one. What is a catenary?
Catenary. A catenary.
Is that how you pronounce it?
It is indeed. The catenary is part of the overhead line equipment in the railway.
There you go. Then that is train. Well done. You're about 60% for 60-70%.
I have issues with the quiz, but I respect the quiz.
Maybe next time I need to choose something that doesn't have like that much spelling and reading to do. It's a good job you're running it next week. So.
Next week's going to be horrendous.
Is it?
Plus, we need to have a discussion about what penalty there is for putting up wrong information on the guest of the year.
I said it's been a busy week, right? And I accidentally saw final and put first for the Beatles Performance. So I do apologise on behalf of Highland Hospital Radio, Inverness's broadcasting service, SCIO.
Thank you.
I don't know the exact number. You know that one though.
SC052323.
There you go. Yeah.
Why is that in my head?
Because you run the shop.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, there you go. Next week, you can do a forfeit, whatever you fancy, so long as there's no dairy involved.
No dairy forfeit.
No dairy forfeit.
Okay, I'll think about it.
Yeah. Well done.
Thank you very much. Well, so that was this week's This or That. That's back next week. We'll see what the theme is going to be. I'm going to go and recover. In the meantime, will we have some Kate Bush? Yes, please.
Sounds good to me. Let's get some Wuthering Heights on. So I've just learned something new. Wuthering Heights.
It's Wuthering Heights.
Not Wuthering Heights.
Not Werther's Original Heights, which I think is what you said at the beginning.
Yeah, I just thought it was Wuthering Heights. It's not as bad as when I started like 5 years ago. I didn't know that Leonard Skinner wasn't pronounced Leonard Skinner.
Leonard Skinner.
That's still a classic for us. You listen to Saturday Drop-In. We've just seemed to just adding presenters on at this moment in time, which is great.
Indeed, the wonderful Karen is here.
It's nice to be known as a presenter.
You're an award. You're not just a presenter.
Other things.
How nice is it when you can just come in and do a show and like we're not dealing with emails and stuff and all the other fun and games that comes with there. Yeah,
and you're not just a presenter, you're an award-winning presenter.
Award-winning
presenters making a show. Look at that.
Yeah.
Golden.
You've actually switched around. You're on Tuesdays now, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
So it's still the same show?
Still the same show.
On Tuesdays. And Aaron, who does the cinematic sounds, he has moved on to Thursdays now.
That's right.
And he's going to have a newbie with him as well. We've got a new person in the studio who's just sitting. She's coming on her first ever visit today, and to see how we managed to make this run. And I don't know if we're really teaching her any good stuff. Certainly showing her how not to do things. And we've had Mike Goodbrand. He popped in as well. Yeah. To say hello. So yeah, it's a busy old day on the Saturday Drop-In.
Busy
old day.
Busy afternoon.
I'm knackered.
You were just telling us it's lovely outside.
It is gorgeous outside, yes.
Because when we're in here, as you know yourself, Karen, you're usually in the evenings, but when we're here on the Saturday, we look down the corridor and we can see there's the stained glass window. When you come into Raigmore, we can look down and see that. So if we can see the stained glass is on the floor,
it's
not
sunny
smashed.
Day. It's also not smashed.
It's the sunlight's coming through, and we can just see some bricks outside our studio, and they are glowing nicely. So it's obviously nice and toasty.
It is breezy as well, though.
Oh,
is it like a cool breeze or just like
quite
refreshing?
A cool breeze.
Because we're all shorts wearers today. I was worried I would be the only one wearing shorts.
Nah,
but everyone's coming
today.
ready for summer.
You're not wearing shorts.
I was at football yesterday.
Well, they're three-quarter lengths. You know, they're.
You got a bit of ankle showing.
Yeah, we had football yesterday, and half people turned up in shorts and half the people turned up not in shorts. So that's what we did, the teams, the short team and the not shorts teams.
Oh, I like that. Instead of shirts and skins, it's shorts and no shorts. Football getting played in summer. What a crazy idea that is.
Who did that?
Imagine going to a football stadium and you don't have to wear several layers and drink hot drinks to try and stay warm like we do in Scotland. This means that if it's officially summer... Sorry, I'm bobbing up and down because I'm trying to see Sharon. I'm trying to make eye contact here. So it's shorts and t-shirt weather. So up in the wards, I hope that it's nice and cool because certainly here at Raigmore, all the wards, it's got loads of windows around the outside, so I'd imagine it must get a bit toasty. But at the same time, it's nice to get some nice sunshine and stuff. So wherever you are across the NHS Highlands, I hope it's nice and toasty but pleasant where you are, and hopefully you're getting home and you can maybe sit in the garden a wee bit if you've got a wee bit of space outside and get a bit of sunlight, a bit of vitamin D.
Vitamin D, and not just from orange juice this time.
Not just from orange juice, actual stuff from the sky. We are going to give you a quick recap on Beat Detective. Karen's come in. She's had a quick read over it as well. And she's thinking about it. She reckons once you get the artist, you're going to get the song. That's her statement.
Yeah, but I haven't got the artist
So-
yet, so kind of defeats it.
It's a 6-word artist. Can we say it's somebody and the somethings? I mean, I
Yeah,
just
we
did.
might as well. You just said
Um,
it, so.
Royal Roman Goddess and the Ultimate Female Ensemble. I think that's a really good clue, by the way. I
You're
think that is a gettable clue. And your song, A Determined Promise to Capture Your Heart. I think it's fair to say, if you were to take this ensemble and give me list 5 songs by them, I think this might fall outside that 5. I think it's more of the other ones.
Okay.
If I've picked the right one
That
anyway.
sounds about right for our system as well.
Yeah,
like
picked out some-
not the
some
top
random.
5, just some other one.
So we're about to go into a break. I'll just quickly say, because we always forget to do this, coming up at the top of the hour is... Shannon's quickly scrolling.
Yes.
Coming up at the top of the hour is going to be the Highland Open Mic. So Ross Payton compiles a series of short stories and interviews of people across the north of Scotland. Then at 3 o'clock it is going to be Doogie Burns here for another On the Level. Then at 4, I'm just hoping that Shannon's going to start scrolling down
So you can read it.
to help me out.
Hang on.
No, just scroll down. Just scroll down.
Oh,
just
yes,
scroll
I
down.
think
Scroll down.
I think it might be Daniel Gunn with Dougie Burns, if I'm right.
Yes, that was this week's edition, isn't it?
Yeah, he was very good. I saw him last year at Woodstock, and he was very good.
Oh,
Yes.
when is Woodstock? We should mention this because it's such a good wee sort of mini festival.
Second week of June.
14th of June.
Yeah.
14th
Now-
of June. And Mote Parrott's playing, and he is brilliant.
So good. The good thing is you can actually get a bus from Inverness, can't you? They run buses to get you up there if you get your tickets. So definitely have a look at Woodstock. You might see some hospital radio faces kicking about there.
Well, I know that Bill is definitely going to be there again,
Okay.
getting some interviews for his show.
And this is on a Saturday, isn't it?
It
You
is
know
on
what I'm
Saturday.
thinking? You know what I'm thinking?
What, drop in live?
It could be a Saturday
Well, we
drop-in
are
live
live.
from Woodstock.
Yeah.
Could be.
I was also thinking about getting tickets, so either or.
Yeah, one or the other. So at 4 o'clock, it's the story of Pirate Radio and the series Please Don't Take Them Away. Then at 5 o'clock, the all-new Golden Oldie Show with Ian and Terry. This week's show is May of 1971.
Yeah.
2 years after the Beatles first played.
Thanks.
No, this will be coming up a lot. Then, if you like Terry Henderson, great news because he's on again at 6 o'clock tonight. He is here. Oh, is he interviewing Helen?
It's
He's
a really
interviewing
good
Helen.
one.
It's
It's a
really
really good one.
I've not heard this. I'll
It
need
is
to tune into
really-
that.
It's very good. I've listened to this. And
Did you
it's
know she has
very
a book?
good.
Helen McPherson does have a book. She
Does
keeps
have
it
a book.
quiet. She doesn't let on.
No.
But Helen McPherson and Terry Henderson here at 6. Then at 7, Mike popped in earlier on. He'll be back again for the rock and roll hour. If you like your rock and roll hits from the 50s, really up till modern day, because there's still lots of rock and roll bands kicking about, sort of doing the same style, then tune in for that. At 8, it's live at 8, where you get to choose the music by emailing requests at hjhr.scot. Then at 9 o'clock, all your new album releases of the week with David Robertson in Saturday Showcase. Then if that's not enough for you somehow, at 10 o'clock, Rob Holson is here with World Live in Early. He is, if you listen to that show, you might get maybe 15 songs. And each song, I'll guarantee, is from a different country in the world with different styles and genres.
That's
It's
really cool.
a really cracking show. And finally, at 11 o'clock, the A to Z of Pop with the award-winning Richard Smith. And it is the letter C. And I'll tell you this, folks, it's a brand new series. Do you know Richard Smith
Ooh.
has been doing the A to Z of Pop for 21 years now.
21 years.
21 years of the A
Same
to Z of Pop.
age as Mean Girls.
And do you know...
I may or may not have mentioned a few times that I did meet Richard Smith when I was round in Hinckley. He was standing
Yeah.
in front of me in a certain queue. I won't say which queue he was in.
Oh, right. The coffee.
Yeah, that was the
Was
one.
it-
Coffees and
yeah,
teas.
refreshments, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
We saw him when we were at HBA, the Hospital Broadcasting Association Conference and Awards, and he's just such a big star in the world of hospital. I couldn't even bring myself to speak to him.
I
was just
did.
You
I
got a
spoke
bit
with him.
flustered, didn't you? You're just like, this is Richard Smith.
It's Richard Smith. Actually, I saw a YouTuber, like a famous YouTuber. You know, it's National Train Day today. I
Yes.
saw a train-based YouTuber in Aberdeen.
Is it Francis Bourgeois?
No, it was not Francis Bourgeois. This is a person. Their channel's called G Loves Trains.
Okay.
And I'll guarantee, she's not put this video out, but I'll guarantee that what she was up doing was travelling on the longest train journey in the UK, because next week it doesn't exist anymore. It's
No.
gone. So the longest train journey you can do as a passenger in the UK is from Aberdeen to Penzance.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the 8:20 from Aberdeen, goes all the way to Penzance. If you really wanted to be there all day, and I suspect that's what this person was doing, and I couldn't bring myself to say hello to them.
Aww.
You know.
I was the same with Ed Gamble last week as well. He was up at Perk, and I was like, "That's Ed Gamble. That's a comedian."
See, we mentioned Penzance. Can I, since it's train day, can I make a claim?
Yeah.
All right. You can put this on your socials, and we'll see if anybody wants to claim it off me.
Right.
Okay. I reckon that I am the only person, maybe ever, certainly currently, to have driven a train to both Penzance and Wick.
Okay.
I've missed out quite a few bits in between.
Yeah.
But I've driven a train to Penzance and I've driven a train to Wick. So I think I've done both parts of the country.
Yeah, because it was somebody that would have had to work for ScotRail and another company.
Exactly.
There you go.
So if this goes out and there's other train drivers out there that want to try and claim that off me, you can have it.
Could you not want it?
No, I don't mind. You know, hey, listen, it's not about the ego and the awards, you know. But I do have my award prominently on display.
Oh, I see. Right.
So that's been National Train Day. That's been what's coming up, and Richard Smith chat. We'll have a short break where we find out some important information about your NHS Highland area, a few more songs, and then the final reveal of Beat Detective.
Maroon 5 with Maps there, and we've come to the end of the Saturday drop-in.
Somehow the 2 hours just flies by.
They do.
We say
It's
this
a very
every
busy couple of hours, to be
Yes.
fair. And we were sitting there thinking, a 2-hour show would be good because we always say 1 hour is never enough. Now we're saying 2 hours is never enough. What's next?
It's great when we had your brilliant interview with Alan from the RNLI. So if you have just tuned in just now and you've missed that, this is all going to appear, plus some bonus content, which we've not even recorded yet.
No.
That's how bonus it is, which will be on our podcast. So if you want to listen to this show again, you can go on to the Highland Hospital Radio website at hr.scot, click on shows, and then find this show, and the latest episode will appear. But better still, if you want to, you can go onto your Apple Podcasts, you can go to your Spotify, you can go to your Amazon Podcasts. If there's a place that does podcasts, go there and type in Saturday Drop-In and you can subscribe to the show podcast. It's all the chat and no music, which could be a bad thing for you. Maybe you would have rather some more music.
It's
I
great.
like the chat.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's kind.
It's
You
good
can
to
come
know.
back. You can come back. We will be back next Saturday. I think we're both here, aren't we? Next Saturday? Yeah. We should be, because we're both going to a barbecue
If we're going to a
afterwards.
barbecue together, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So
Got
next
it.
Saturday we'll do it all over again. We've got Red Chair Highlander coming in.
That's
talking about
exciting.
digital inclusion.
Yeah, Red Chair Highland, quite a small little charity, but a really, really effective one.
Yeah.
I
I
think.
have never heard of them before, I don't think.
They're up at Crown.
Yeah.
If
Well,
you-
Karen, you'll need to tune in
I
to
will
next week's
tune in.
show to
Yeah.
find out all about it.
Exactly.
They've already picked their songs. They're organised. We like this.
Super organised.
So
Love
they'll
it.
they'll be joining us live in the studio next week. We'll have another edition of Guess the Year, This or That, and of course, Beat Detective.
Exactly, yeah. Shall we quickly just go through what the Beat Detective was?
Yes, we shall. So it's been reconsidered that the artist is actually 5 words. 5-word artist.
That's what it says on social.
Royal Roman Goddess and the ultimate female ensemble. Now, we focus too much on the word royal here. If you ditch royal and just go Roman Goddess, one of the Roman goddesses is, of course, Diana.
Diana. And she's a goddess because she's a goddess of pop.
Indeed. And the ultimate female ensemble, could they be the Supremes?
I think it is the Supremes,
I think
you
they
know.
are the Supremes. Now, the song, we'll be honest, I think this was a bit more difficult one. Jackie, who's sitting in with us here, she's going to be joining us in a few weeks' time. She's sitting and watching. She and I both agreed that we thought it was Stop in the Name of Love.
Yeah.
Because it was a determined promise to capture your heart. Toughie.
Mm-hmm.
But it is, in fact, I'm going to make you love me. A determined promise.
Make you love me.
Definitely not creepy at all.
No. I'm just going to make you love me. Because it's Diana. You wouldn't say no to Diana Ross, would you?
Probably not, no, to be honest.
Exactly. Well, that's the Beat Detective. I'm going to make you love me, Diana Ross and the Supremes. Thank you for listening in. Catch up with the podcast whenever that comes out this weekend.
Sometime later on today.
Yeah. And I guess I'll see you next week, Tom. If
I'll
we're
see you
able to
next
do
week, yeah.
barbecue,
Oh, yeah. Cheery.
Maybe we'll be a bit more organised. Or I'll be a bit more organised next week.
How dare you?
Sorry. Thanks very much for having a listen to the Saturday Drop-In podcast.
Yeah, that was it. It's not
Bit
over
of a
yet.
train wreck.
Well, yeah. Well, let's discuss that. Yeah. It's not the end. We're going to have a quick chat about a few other bits and bobs. Some unfinished business to do with Carry On movies.
Yes.
We're also going to be talking about how crazy dads can be at sporting events. But yeah, there was some stuff happened, but that's okay. It's live radio, Shannon. It's all good.
It's all a bit of comedy.
Something that didn't happen this week, and this is coming up quite a lot, and this is appearing on our social media.
Yes.
Is I will play a song, or the computer system will play a song, and you come out and say, "Oh, I played French horn to that."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was kind of upset that didn't happen this week because I've actually done a bit of production.
Oh, well, I'd love to hear it.
Would you like to hear the production?
Yeah. Oh, is that what you were doing to the Dubry?
Yeah, so hopefully everybody's going to hear this and you can enjoy it as well, Shannon. Have you got your headphones on? Pop your headphones on.
That's probably a good idea, isn't it? Go on.
We present I Played That on French Horn with Shannon Marvel on Highland Hospital Radio.
I love it.
So any time now that you drop the I played that on French horn, we get this lovely little jingle plays.
We present I Played That on French Horn with Shannon Marvel on Highland Hospital Radio.
Do you know what's even funnier?
You've played that horn concerto number 3, have you? Is that what you're going to come out with?
It sounds like a trumpet's playing the horn
It
concerto
probably is,
3,
isn't
though.
it? You know,
I have played horn concerto 3. That's like part of the grade. So
brass instruments are all the same as far as I'm concerned.
I like that.
There you go. So
I'm going to be using that one on a regular basis.
You can have that one.
I'm just going to like put in just songs that I've played on.
It's a regular feature. Yeah, I was sitting here ready to go just in case you dropped a French horn bomb during the show.
French horn bomb.
French horn bomb. You can have that one. And that was French horn bomb there with muted trumpet from their second album, Classical Jazz.
God, you should be on Classic FM.
No, goodness, no. I've tried to do smooth because I'm thinking, could I do links for smooth FM? But I don't think I've got the voice for it.
I think it's all right.
Well, funnily enough, you can judge for yourself because if we do have the smooth hour automation, it's my voice for it.
Oh, really?
So next time, if there is a smooth hour on Highland Hospital Radio, I've done the voice and I've tried to do it as smooth as I can.
Wow. See, I wish I could do that, but my voice does not tail onto anything.
Well, my normal voice
smooth.
goes very nasally and quite high at times, particularly if I get excited.
Yeah.
What?
No, thank you for that. That's really nice
No
of you.
problem. So there's my gift to you.
Oh, cheers. Ooh, a little bit of cheese there, wouldn't it? Sprinkle that cheese.
Well, not for you. It would be obviously vegan, lactose-free.
Oh, yeah, lactose-free cheese.
Goes without saying.
Yeah.
We want to catch up on something because for some reason Carry On movies came up. Yes, in the Guest of the Year. And
there was 2 top grossing Carry On films, Carry On Camping and Carry On Khyber.
Up the Khyber.
Up the Khyber,
Because
sorry.
if you're going to get the joke, Up the Khyber has to
Up
be
the
said.
Khyber, yeah.
I
was trying to be polite.
No, don't be. It's the Carry On movies. And we were having a quick look because we wanted to decide what is your favourite Carry On movie, because we know that a lot of our listeners will maybe be slightly older, listening in hospital, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So this is some good chat.
Carry On films.
Yeah, we were talking about Carry On films in the show, and we didn't want to commit to picking our favourite until we'd had a chance to review it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is a big thing, big deal. A lot of people will have enjoyed the Carry On films back in the day. Yeah, a bit dated now. You watch them now.
Yeah.
There's a few things that make you go,
A lot of sexism.
Probably shouldn't do that anymore. But if you judge them on their time, then that's what we're basing this on. As I said during the show, I spent a lot of time growing up with my grandparents, and they had the full video collection. They had all the Carry On movies in order. We don't have any literature or anything in our house. We had the Carry On movies.
What other literature do you need?
What more do you need? I learned everything I needed to know from Carry On films.
And what not to do because of Carry On films as well.
Exactly, yes. First one was Carry On Sergeant, 1958. Bob Monkhouse was in that, do you know?
Which one was Bob Monkhouse?
Bob Monkhouse was I'm trying forgetting the age gap here. Bob Monkhouse was a TV celebrity. He was a comedian. He was like a Saturday night TV host.
Oh, really?
Equivalent to Bruce Forsyth, I would say.
Oh, okay.
I'd put him in the same
I do
bracket.
recognise the name. It's just that I needed reference.
No problem. He was in that. I think because we're in a hospital radio situation, all the hospital-based Carry On films I think were excellent.
There was a whole one with like a maternity ward at one point, wasn't there?
Yes.
Was that the first one? The Carry On Nurses?
Was that Carry On Nurse? You had Carry On Doctor, Carry On Again Doctor, Carry On Matron.
Yeah,
and
I think it was Carry On Matron.
Mm-hmm. And you had Hattie Jakes playing this overarching, matron character.
Yeah.
Always good stuff. Kenneth Williams playing, obviously, a camp doctor of some description.
Legend he is.
Jim Dale, who wrote Barnum, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Are you willing to commit to a favourite?
Yes, I'm willing. Now I've had a look through the catalogue of Carry On.
What's it going to be?
Carry On Jack.
Carry On Jack.
Love Carry On Jack.
I think that's one of the lesser known ones as well.
Yeah, I really love Bernard Cribbins.
Bernard Cribbins.
Rest in peace.
Yeah,
Legend.
indeed. Carry On Cabby is the one I'm going to go for. I think that's the one I watched most.
Yeah.
And to think that, intrigued by a black and white film as well, because that was a pre-colour Carry On film.
Yeah.
So yeah, Carry On Cabby.
That's a good one.
So Carry On Up the Jungle was silly and funny. There's Carry On Matron, Carry On Abroad. The interesting thing about that one is they were pretending they were in some Spanish resort.
Yeah.
So they were out on sun loungers getting filmed, but they actually were in like the Pinewood backlot in spring.
Oh, nice.
So they were all shivering to bits.
Yeah.
So many good films. And you know what? If you just want a silly laugh,
Carry On Screaming.
go and enjoy a Carry On.
Turning women into mannequins.
Yes.
Such a yeah. Yeah.
So enjoy a Carry On film. You know what? These days, you can probably, on your Fire Stick, there is no doubt a channel where there's constant Carry On films.
I think it's on Prime.
Is it?
I want to say it's on Prime.
Well, you get Pluto TV and stuff where it's...
Yeah.
You get a whole channel dedicated to Homes Under the Hammer. They literally start at episode 1 and they play every single episode of Homes Under the Hammer and go back to the beginning again.
That sounds great.
That's just the best thing
I
ever.
love judging people on Homes Under the Hammer. It's like, why'd you do it that way? Why'd you make a galley kitchen? You could have done an extension and had a really nice sunroom and yeah.
Yeah, but you take a few steps back and you know, Laura and I were sitting watching. They've not read the legal pack, have they?
Nah,
they've not read the legal pack.
I love when they do the shot that everyone knows is like the worst.
The worst?
Yeah, and what is it? They kind of walk into the room and they just do the look around.
Oh, when the estate agent comes in.
Even that, or the owners as well. You know, when they walk in as like a couple and they're just like, okay, we just need you to look around. It's like classic.
No, I do like that. So after last week's show on the Saturday, the following day, the Sunday, I took Henry, my son. He is 8. He turns 9 in a couple of weeks' time.
I know.
Actually. Yeah,
I'm already messaging my mum, being like, "What does Ken's want for his birthday? Is it Minecraft? Probably is." I
don't know what Henry wants, so we'll need to go asking him. But he's got his birthday party booked. We are booked in for Roller Bowl because we're
very
shopping
nice.
Local. Other bowling alleys are available, of course, as we all know, but Roller Bowl's still there. But last week on the Sunday, it was a rugby tournament it was Nairn who hosted the tournament, but it happens up at the Kinloss Barracks.
Yes.
Okay. So we took Henry through there for his rugby, and I'm trying to think, I've not seen Henry at a tournament for a while, and you get those dads.
You get the pushy dads.
Yeah, who get a wee bit overexcited and a wee bit carried away. Mm-hmm. So I was trying my best not to be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I took my camping chair with me so I could sit down and sit back.
Yeah.
So I wasn't pacing up and down the line.
Yeah. They already have a boss doing that. Like
exactly.
You know?
And I'm like, pay attention to the coach.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not strict, but I say, come on, put your best effort in. And
go in and think you're doing your best.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's awkward for them because they're at an age where they've moved from touch rugby to like full contact rugby.
So that's difficult.
A lot of them are still adapting to this thing where you have to actually tackle someone and
cheek to cheek and all that stuff.
Because if you're like, before it was like, right, I've tapped you, you're supposed to stop and pass the ball now, but they're like, you're not stopping. Why are you not stopping?
Yeah.
So as the day progressed, I'm like, come on, Henry, come on, tackle him, you can do this.
Yeah.
But still try to make it fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering, have you ever experienced this dad situation of dads?
My dad was that dad. And I love him to bits, and I wouldn't have it any other way because looking back, it's hilarious.
Yes.
So I played golf quite a lot as said child, and my dad is still, I think, the youngest male to ever get a what's it called, a handicap in golf in Norfolk. And he was in the newspaper with it, like it's a big thing. Like,
that started huge. He was the youngest ever to do this in Norfolk.
Yeah, Norfolk's a nice place for golf. But my granddad was asked to be pro, but then went no because I'm having a family and I'd like to be there. Mm-hmm. My great granddad was a pro pre-war.
Wow.
So it's a family sport. So yeah, he used to be very on me for golf, and it was a fraction of the reason why I stopped playing golf professionally and stuff like that. But even like I did karate as like a way of trying to keep my fitness up after I was taking away golf, and he stopped coming because he kept telling me to like proper whack him one during sparring and stuff, and I'm like, I can't do that. I'm dealing with people with bare feet right now. Like the last thing I'm thinking of is like punching other people.
Every time this podcast does a turn back to the old, the thing that you hate though, why is it that you keep bringing up the thing that you hate the most?
Because it's comedy for other people.
It makes
sometimes some people's pain is other people's comedy, you know.
I'm not enjoying it.
No, okay, that's fine.
I worry for you that you're making yourself upset.
I'm not.
Okay,
that's fine.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, like he was pushy. But like even nowadays, like I sit there, and he's not the same with my niece and nephew, his grandkids, which is nice. I'm very glad to see that.
So,
but he never did sports days because he was always at work. He's a carpenter, so like, he was always out doing a site job or falling off of ceilings and roofs and stuff like that.
So yeah, I'd love to know what other people's. Are you turning into that parent?
Yeah, I had to do a mum race once. I was very competitive. It was like egg and spoon, and you had to go through a hoop, and then you had to like carry something over and throw something in another hoop, and it was stressful. And even the mums came out, I was like, you started really well, and I was like, excuse me,
Burn.
Just because I was a little bit bigger back then and I couldn't fit through the hoop.
So I tried my best not to be that guy.
Good.
But
there was that the fire was in the belly kind of thing.
Well, his team, he was lucky at being a really good team, and their team made the semi-final.
Amazing.
Now you're trying to say, now you've got to you're getting into the latter stages here.
Yeah.
Come on, let's get some really good tackles in, and really, don't hit them, of course, don't hurt them. But come on,
it's contact.
Come on now, and so I was like, get the ball and run, and so basically, it got to the last game, and I was properly shouting for him to encourage him.
Go on, you can do it. Yeah, okay, cool. That's fine.
It might have ventured into a bit of, come on! No, well done, that was good. You nearly got them that time. But one thing I do make a point of is I will always make a point of cheering for both teams.
Yeah.
Because it's 8-year-olds. It's
exactly.
P4s playing rugby.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than having people getting really old. And there are some people there that do that. But there was... the kids were brilliant. Good. This is it. The stand was really good because there was teams from, let me see. So Nairn were obviously there. Moray, so that's the Elgin club is Moray. A few others. Caithness were there. I mean, fair play to Caithness.
They got a bus.
Well, that's just they came down, and it's crazy. So they've actually got a tournament in next month. So we're already thinking, well, we book the Premier in and go up the night before.
Yeah.
So we're there for them. But the kids were excellent. And what was really good is because we were on the barracks, the Army rugby team, who's based there, some of their members came along and refereed. And it was the first time, because Henry was telling me about this, it was like the first time that they've ever been properly refereed by guys who are proper referees. And when I spoke to the referees, it was a mixed interest in speak to Henry and speak to the referees. They're going, yeah, it was interesting. We couldn't call everything, obviously, because, the kids drop the ball. They'll knock it on.
Yeah,
they'll make wee mistakes. And you can see them going, right, well, let them have that one.
Yeah.
But then they were also...
Were they also like...
I'll pretend I didn't see that one. You can have 3 knock-ons, but after... No, I'm calling it now.
Yeah.
But then they were like giving it... They were like, right, advantage to Highland there. And all the kids were going, what does that mean? We've not done that. And the coach is like, we've not discussed advantage. We've not discussed this or that. Just, we'll keep going. It was really, really good.
Never mind.
Yes, well done to all the rugby teams. The rugby clubs are really still strong across the Highlands, which is really good. Highland, obviously that's the one that we go to, but there's loads of these clubs, and they all have nice interactions with each other where we'll host other clubs and vice versa. So, if you're looking for a good exercise, I can only speak for Highland, but certainly like Ross Sutherland over on the other side of the bridge, all the way up to Caithness and Moray, as I said, Nairn. Huntly as well, because that's my wife is just now with Henry. They have such a good setup for the youth.
Good.
That takes them all the way through into high school ages. Obviously they've got a first 15 for the professional. A lot of them have got such good women's games set up. They've got really good. Yeah, Highland's got a really good setup for the women's game.
Yeah. Watch out, Ionama.
But as well as that, they also do a lot of senior stuff. So Highland Rugby did, they haven't maybe taken a pause, but they were doing walking rugby for a while. So I had a go at the walking rugby.
Okay.
And that gets really... when you're shouting at someone, his feet definitely left the ground. That was running. That wasn't walking. So yeah, support your local rugby club is what I'm saying, because
exactly, they
are a great wee social club as well. Let's not beat around the bush. Social club prices are always good prices.
Exactly.
And it's a cheap membership as well. So yeah, that was my pushy dad thing. But if anyone else has a pushy dad or wishes they had a pushy dad, maybe he needs some encouragement.
Yeah. The gentle parenting's quite hard.
It can be when you know that they can do really well.
Yeah.
And what the other most difficult part of parenting is trying to explain to your kids that it's important they do well now because it'll really help them later.
Yeah.
That's hard because we're all living in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
That's what when you're younger, you live in the moment. And yet us at my age, looking at my kids and going, if I had that opportunity, I wish I had taken it.
Yeah.
And I would have, because I regret it now that I didn't when I was at school.
Like my nephew, he used to do like scouts and then did other things, and he's pulled back from a lot of things. So he does like a gymnastics like after school club, and we're like trying to keep him on that. We're just like, do it, because he's one of these kids that he's just slim, but it's muscle, and we're just like gymnastics.
You can put that to use.
But yeah, and even just like looking at when he used to do like scouts and stuff, he's like, oh, I don't enjoy it anymore. But like looking back at the pictures, like, you were loving that. What's wrong? And he's just like, just didn't want to do it. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
So much change going on though. It's hard.
Yeah.
And they're doing it in the age of social media as well. So it's tough. No doubt about it. Trying to find that right balance as well.
Yeah, they're not getting social media for at least another 10 years.
So you think? That was like me when we had Jess. We were like, she'll never have a McDonald's. Things change immediately.
I smell something.
Yeah, exactly. So it's tough being a parent.
Yeah.
It's tough. Everybody. It's tough
at
for
the
everybody.
same time.
It is because they're such good fun. They are. They're brilliant, and we're taking them away we're a week's time. We're away for our caravan holiday.
Very nice.
For 3 nights, and then of course we've got our summer holidays, and it's great. They're good fun.
Good.
Well,
that was a nice blather.
we can go on no more, and we are going to call it a day at that.
Yeah. Excited for next week already?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to NHS Highland. That's going to be good.
Yes.
And all the usual stuff.
Yeah, she's a proper good natter as well.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
So do get in touch with us. Socials at hhr.scot. Go and check out the show page by going to the hhr.scot. That's Highland Hospital Radio's website. And if you click on About and Shows, you'll see our show page.
Yeah.
You can see what we look like.
Yeah.
Oh, I did cartoonise our picture from last week. I'll need to show you that.
Oh, did you? I was going to ask for those pictures, to be fair. So.
I'll send it over.
Thank you.
If we can get our phones to work.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to hang up the phone now and try and sort that out. We'll be back next week.
Okay, bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.